Hey guys, what's up? Lennox here, back at you from the water. I'm back in the boat, man. It has been tough. It has been tough lately. The wind will not let up. It has blown, both literally and figuratively. The wind has blown. Sea bass season opened up in Maryland on October 9th, and today is the first day that they're really giving it a legitimate shot, and today is October 22nd. You do the math, I'm not good at it, but that's a lot of days where they couldn't even get to the ocean because the weather just would not allow it. So, and today, absolutely gorgeous. So those guys are out there catching those sea bass today. I'm heading out on the Angler tomorrow with Captain Chris Mazurek and the crew, and doing an episode of Hooked on OC. You'll be able to see that over on the YouTube channel for Unseen Pro and on WMDT in the coming weeks. But today, I'm heading down the Route 50 bridge, man. Big bird cropper showing flaherty. Those guys have been catching some stripers down there at the Route 50 bridge, dredging and casting. So I'm gonna do a little dredging, show you guys how we do that here in Ocean City. And you can do it too. You got deep enough water and you have stripers in the area around structure. This will work for you too, I'm sure of it. And do a little casting too. Got the new thingamajig with me. So we'll see if we can't catch a striper, a bluefish, or something like that. And then maybe next week I'll probably go do some tog fishing. Had a couple of requests for doing some tog fishing down here and showing folks how we use green crabs for bait. So I'll probably do that in a week or so. But supposed to be in Jamaica right now. Kristen and I had a vacation planned for our anniversary, but Hurricane Melissa, what will be Hurricane Melissa, had other plans. Looks like it's going to be just south of Jamaica, and they're looking at some really, really bad conditions from it. So we'd much rather change our plans until later on in November and just see how things go and hang out here in Ocean City. Got plenty of work to do on Fishing OC Magazine for 2026. That's coming up in the next couple of months. And as always, making videos and doing the TV show and selling the tackle and all the stuff we do down here in Ocean City. So thanks for being with me. Once again, Kristen's back home doing some work. Ryan's out delivering mags. I'm solo dolo today. Gonna try and catch a striper at the Route 50 bridge. Let's get it. All right, guys, before I get down to the bridge, I want to point something out to you folks that fish in Ocean City throughout the fall, and it's good news for us, but it also comes with a disclaimer. So they've removed the 6 mile an hour markers from the north part of the East Channel. I'll show you that. So I'm in the north part of the East Channel right now. You can see there's the red marker, the red poles, and that 6 mile an hour markers usually sit out here, and then one over here over toward Harbor Island. They're gone now. That doesn't mean run through here if there's a bunch of boats, and it doesn't mean run through here close to the shore and throw a huge wake up. You are still responsible for your wake. But what it does mean is, if you're responsible about it, you can get down here a lot quicker than you used to be able to. So 6 mile an hour markers are gone. Enjoy it through the spring, baby. All right, here we are, guys. Route 50 bridge. Bridge from West Ocean City into downtown Ocean City, and a hot spot for fishing in Ocean City, Maryland. Everything that we catch in the back bays of Ocean City will eventually come by this bridge, and everything gets caught here. Flounder, rockfish, bluefish, trout, sheepshead, tautog, red drum, black drum, you name it, it's all been caught around this bridge. And right now, October, November time frame, sometimes into December, it's real good for stripers. And one of the techniques that we use for them is called dredging. We call it dredging because we're using hard-bodied swim baits with a lip on the front that digs down and gets way down to the bottom where those rockfish are hanging out. Sometimes you catch bluefish on them too. Sometimes the fish can be a little bit bigger this time of the year as well, but it's not an easy thing to do. If you don't have a trolling motor or an anchor or know how to navigate your boat really well in this current, it's not something I recommend to just come down here and try. But if you come down on a slower current, practice a little bit, you can really get the hang of it. Here's what I'm using. I've got my 7-foot cork handled Curly Q JPR. It's a little bit heavier rod. This is a medium heavy action. I use it on party boats quite a bit as well. I've caught some really big fish on this. Caught some nice fish up at Nantucket Shoals on it. Caught a 51-inch red drum over in Chesapeake Bay last year on it. And I've got on that the Piscifun Alijos 400. I'm surprised by these reels. I really am. Pissy Fun sent these to me, wanted me to try them out, told them I'd give an honest opinion on them, and so far, of the 3 reels they sent me, I've caught personal best fish on all of them. So call it what you want. It's a great reel, perfect for this kind of stuff. It's a little bit heavier duty. I got 30-pound braid on there, and then down here, I'm running to a small 50-pound swivel, probably can't even see it, 50-pound fluorocarbon leader to a Man Stretch 25 in the pink. I bought this a few years ago. I've since changed out the hooks, but I bought this a few years ago over at Atlantic Tackle, and thankfully, I find some wood to knock on. Haven't lost it yet. You're gonna lose some gear down here at the 50 bridge because the pilings are very, very sharp. Rusty metal at the bottom of the pilings will claim your gear. Stuff on the bottom, bicycles and all kinds of things like that will claim your gear. And rockfish and bluefish will claim your gear. So that's basically what it is, all right? Braided line, heavy duty monofilament on the leader, more like 50 pound or better, and then a heavy duty rod and reel to go with that. Now what I'm gonna do is, a couple ways you can do this dredging. You can throw your anchor over, you can use your trolling motor, sit in the current nice and still as possible. What I like to do is something Big Bird Cropper taught me, and that is get as close as I can to the bridge, drop it all the way to the other side, as far as I'm comfortable letting it go, and then put the boat in gear and head to the north. I've got an outgoing tide. I got a little bit of a northwest wind, so I don't want it pushing me into the bridge. But the object is then, the boat is gonna do the action for me, so I don't have to reel it in. And as I'm moving that direction, sometimes you get a bite that way. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head back here to the bridge, drop it to the other side. Lucky break Captain Jason heading this way right now, probably do some flounder fishing. Went with him a couple of days ago, did some tautog fishing. That'll be another episode of Hooked on OC coming up real soon. Check that out. And I'm gonna drop this to the other side. I'm gonna slowly motor the boat toward the north and see what we do. So I'm in the right spot. All right, let's get in position. I'm gonna go to the 3rd piling set over, the 3rd opening away to the west from the main span. And you want to just ease your boat into position, get as close as you can to the bridge. And that's when I'll start letting line out. Then I'm going to keep it right in that same spot for a minute while I let the line out to the other side. Then I'll put it in gear, let it sit for a minute or so, and then head to the north, slowly but surely. All right, I'm kind of back where I want to be. I want to make sure I'm not in a spot where the dredge is going to go directly into the pilings, obviously, because then you just might as well kiss it goodbye. So I want to get kind of toward the middle, and then as I get to a comfortable spot where I think that dredge is going to go right down the middle of the span, that's when I'm going to start letting it out. That's going to, okay, it's got me a little cockeyed, so let me straighten out. Tide's getting to be just right. All right, that should be good. And now, let's let her go. All right. All right, yep, that should be able to get to the other side of the bridge. You can see I'm steady letting the line peel off, trying to keep it as centered as I possibly can. Trolling motor will help you with that a lot if you decide to do it that way, but then like I said, you can't pull away from the bridge like you'll see me do. And I want to be able to see my line all the way on the other side of the bridge, knowing that I'm probably 30 or 40 feet on the south side of the bridge. And then I'll pull it right through this main span, or through this span, and see if I get a bite. All right, let's try it out. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'll pull away from the bridges, let it back to where I want it to be, so it's gonna be nice and deep on the other side of the bridge. I've got this lure is way on the other side of the bridge. Just back there, kind of, you can feel it fluttering in the current. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lock it up. I'm gonna flip the handle over and I'm gonna pull away from the bridge. And then just hold on. Sometimes you can jerk it back and forth, get a little bit more action to it, but you'll feel the tension of the rig start to pull even tighter as you pull away from the bridge. Just putting it into the current just enough. Sometimes give it a couple of flips. Sometimes you get a bite outside of the bridge on this side of the bridge in the shadow line, sometimes just outside the shadow line. The only thing I can tell you is make sure you're deep enough, guys. These things are going 20, 25 feet deep. I know I'm in plenty of water here on this north side of the bridge, but don't run into a sandbar where you're fishing in 4 feet because you're going to be bouncing it off the bottom and you're going to tangle it up and that kind of thing. And once you get up toward where you feel like you're not going to get a bite anymore, it's probably right about here, I feel like I'm out of the strike zone, then I'll throw the boat in neutral and I just reel it up the rest of the way. And then you drop on back there and do the exact same thing again. Strike two. It's all right. Got him on. This is where it gets tricky because I don't want to drift into the bridge, so I got to keep it in gear a little bit, and I don't want the fish getting too far into the bridge, so it can get a little tricky. Right now, though, doing okay. Head shaking. Adjust. Always got to keep that tension on the fish, guys. He's underneath the bridge too a little bit, so make sure I can just fight him straight on until I get him out here. I don't want to get too close, obviously. And this is why you use the heavier gear, guys, because you're going to have to be putting the boat in gear. Fish is going down current, trying to keep them out of those sharp pilings. You don't want to lose your fish. You also don't want to lose a $20 rig. Good head shake here. Yep, still shaking. A lot of times you'll see them come up to the surface because they're in the current, they're trying to fight. There he is in the surface right there. The plug is trying to swim up to the surface, so all that drag into the fish and into the lip of the stretch will sometimes bring them all the way up to the surface. But I'm glad to show you that that technique worked, at least today. And dude, you never know, man. You never know whether these fish are gonna be 24 inches or 45 inches. Sometimes bigger in the fall. November, we can see some real slobs back here. Finally kind of getting him away from the bridge. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more juice. Get him out there away from the bridge. Still in gear. Obviously, I'd have been drifted back there all the way into the bridge by now if I didn't have it in gear. That's the benefit of having a trolling motor on or your anchor overboard, but then you can't drive away from the bridge, obviously. That's how I hooked that fish. I'm gonna try and get him on the starboard side of the boat too, because I'm right-handed. If he's small enough, I'll just flip him in. There he is on the surface. See all that drag? Oh, you can see all that drag, him coming up to the surface because of all that drag with the current, the dredge pulling. Here's where it gets neat. I'm gonna pull him up beside the boat, drop the net behind him, and then just drop him back into the net. Here we go. There we go, baby. Here we go. Yeah, that's right. That's a nice fish, guys. Real nice fish. That fish is gonna be over slot. Careful with your pliers and stuff, guys. Let me hit this thing on so it can track me. Be careful with the treble hooks, man. Right? You don't want to be messing your fingers up with treble hooks, trust me. And this fish is going to be over slot. There we go. Down here, we've got a slot of 28 to 31 inches, and this fish is gonna be well over that. Yeah, baby, let's go. Let's go. Let's put a quick measurement on him, see what I got. Guys, that fish is 35.5 inches long. Yeah, baby. That fish is gonna go probably 15 pounds. See if I can get this scale on him real quick. I don't want to keep him out of the water too long. Let's go, scale. All right, 0. Sure I'm not gonna crash into nothing, still good. £14 pounds, 11 ounces. 14.11, not sure if you can see that. 14.11 and 35.5 inches long, baby. Let's go! Guys, always put them in the water when you're releasing these fish like this. Put him underwater, hold on to his bottom lip until he bites you. When they bite down on you, you can let them go. Let's go! There you go, man. Dredging at the Route 50 bridge. What's up? Let's go. Hope my phone's still in the boat. Right on, man. All right, man. Fishing by yourself at the Route 50 bridge is challenging. It can be really challenging, but it can be very, very rewarding. I was on pull number 3. So this technique that I'm doing, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't make this up, right? I don't make up a lot of the stuff I do fishing wise. You learn from somebody else. And that's what a lot of you guys have been doing. So appreciate you being here and tagging along for this content we're bringing you. And I learned this one from Big Bird Cropper. Big Bird, I talked to him just this morning. He had some luck out here yesterday. And he told me kind of what time the tide would be and that sort of thing. I kind of know it a little bit, but he's really kind of perfected the art of dredging at the Route 50 bridge. And it paid off, man, big time. I got some folks over here yelling at me on the bulkhead over by the Cambria Hotel. I'll go say hi to them real quick, but it can be very, very rewarding, man. That's a big, fat, almost 15 pound, 35.5 inch striper I just released in. I'm gonna try and catch another one. I just got here a little bit ago. Let's go. All right, here we go. A couple of YouTube followers over here, man. What's going on? Yeah. It was 35 and a half. Thanks so much, bro. Thank you. Oh man, that's what it's all about, dude. Those guys watched me catch that fish and he started cheering, and I mean, least I can do is come over and put them on the YouTube. So man, thank y'all very much for following along. Thank you for watching the TV show and buying the tackle and all that kind of stuff that lets me do what I love for a living. I appreciate it very much, man. And the kind words mean all that much more. Guys like that yelling at me from the bulkhead, people yelling at me from their boats, yelling at me from the bridge, telling me that they use Kristen's recipes all the time, man. It's all very flattering and very, very appreciated. But guess what, man? I'm fishing some more, bro. A 35.5-inch rockfish, that just doesn't do it for me. I'm gonna try and catch something else. I wanna try and catch one in that slot. I want a 28 to 31, something I can take home and give a fillet to my mom's. Yeah, buddy. I got terrible bad news, man. I made notice to slacken my line. Son of a gun. As I warned you, I didn't have the camera turned on, but I got a little too close for comfort to the bridge. There's some guys up there fishing on the bridge now. I was trying to be courteous, so I got a little bit too close to one of the pilings. And as I was letting her back there, old bubble gum got stuck in the piling, and I lost it. But beautiful fish, caught and released. And now what I'm gonna do is, rather than go buy another dredge right now, I'm going to go over to the shallow water on the west side of the Route 50 bridge and see if there's any fish over there. So, all right, might not be anybody home over here in the shallow water. Several casts over here, no nibbles. Captain Jason on lucky break pulled up a couple minutes ago. Haven't seen him catch anything. But I got a 35.5 to my credit today. So anything else would be just a bonus. I think I'm gonna make my way one more time, kind of east to west, and then I'm gonna be home in time for dinner. All right, guys, I'm down to the 3-strike policy. 3 more casts, no bites, and I'm out. Strike 1. Strike 2. There's the wind up and the pitch. Strike 3. All right, that was fun though. I'm gonna clean this stuff up. Talk to you in a second. I gotta get home and get this stuff ready for a trip on board the Angler tomorrow. Yep. All right, man, time for me to head home. Fun day here at the Route 50 Bridge. Even though I only caught one fish, it was a good one. Biggest rockfish I've ever caught at the Route 50 Bridge. Like I mentioned earlier, I've caught some 40 plus inchers over there in the Ocean City Inlet back in the 90s when we were drifting eels through there and that kind of thing. But Route 50 Bridge, biggest I'd ever had before today was 35 inches with my buddy Dan. I don't know, it's probably 4 or 5 years ago now. But that was cool, really cool. Lost that dredge a couple of tries later. Tried to do some of this casting over here in the shallow water, nobody home. It might be, the water's clean, looks good, but I'd rather take what I've got, head home, and I got to get ready for a sea bass flounder trip on board the Angler tomorrow. Captain Chris and the crew of the Angler are back in action, so we're going to go film a Hooked on OC with them tomorrow. So stay tuned for that over on the YouTube /Unseen Pro and on TV, WMDT 47ABC. I'm going to get to that. Might look for bunker for a couple minutes, but after catching that nice fish on an absolutely beautiful afternoon, I'm gonna head for the dock. Thank you all for clicking in every single time. If you haven't done it, you enjoy what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button for us. Got any questions about this stuff, ask those in the comments below. We appreciate y'all very, very much. Social media, hit that too.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to